What is it that we call football success?
Excellence on and off the field. As simple as that.
You're confusing me. What is excellence on and off the football pitch?
I think we have to look at ecosystem for football, not just what happens in terms of the players, the coaches, but the environment, whether it's commercializing the game, especially here in Zimbabwe. I think that's an area that we're lagging in globally. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, but in Zimbabwe, if we touch 100,000, okay, maybe a couple of million, I think that's a valuation. I was being mean when I said 100,000, but I think it has to go that. And then obviously creating sustainable systems for development. So it has to be a multi-pronged approach. You can't just be successful in terms of the dreams of the fans, whether it's going to the AFCON, winning the AFCON, or going to the World Cup. But it also is about creating careers for anybody interested in football, not just the players, but administrators, the media, stadium owners, advertisers, everybody. I think once everybody feels like, you know, we've got huge advertising budgets, we've got state-of-the-art stadia, we've got, you know, the best broadcast facilities to cover live games, we've got world-class players who are mentioned with the biggest teams. I try to keep it simple.
David, what, from your perspective, what is football success?
I think Mr. Tish said a bit of them, yeah, but one decision is not the our football has been successful. One starting from the mother body. No, I'm not talking about Yvonne, but I'm talking about the mother body, isn't it? And she's the face of us in football, right? And exactly like Ranga pre-empty Jeje. Paja pre-empty and do partitions
okay.
Where we are going so that we can become what we want to be. No.
Maybe from a player perspective or from a player perspective, what is football success? Maybe if we can try and get you to take it from that angle.
It's about how continue from football development, right? Every stage that I'll be going through. And for me, this is the Tango first team, graduate to all the junior national teams, to the senior national team, qualifying to go to the Nations Cup, winning maybe Nations Cup, winning COSAFA, going to the World Cup. That's the most successful thing that you can talk about as a player.
So I'm going to try and, you know, attempt to answer my own question.
Because you had the answer already. It's
no!
fine. That's fine.
So for me, in short, football success is money. That's what I want. Because you want to look at all the teams, right from the lower level, you know, tiers, up to the national team. How much money are we generating? Is Dynamos liquid enough, you know, to be compared to the best in Africa? Is Marvelous Nakamba competing with the best in terms of the amount of money? How many of these players are making life out of football? How many of these players are owning houses? How many of these players are driving? How many of those aspiring footballers want to play because they know there is money there? Because you go to Europe, talk about Real Madrid, has money. You talk about Barcelona, that's money. Go to Manchester United even, that's money.
Loads of money.
Loads of money. So when people look at football, they are seeing money. So that's, for me, that's football success. Anyway, Yvonne is here. So Yvonne, I know you are in the hot seat, and both here and where you've come from. Because everybody is looking at you. Who is this lady who has been thrust into this seat? Because you're supposed to be driving us. And I know it's probably sometimes you think about the task that's there. And you look at probably the contract that you signed. We speculate, we say it's short term because the guys that put you there are there for a short time because they're just trying to put direction in our football. But with the amount of work that you have been given, is it something achievable?
I think it's very achievable, Howard. Of course, I won't play it down. There's a lot of work to be done. There is a lot of behind the scenes that has to be rectified, has to be put together, that has to be, you know, a lot of moving parts that need to come together. So yes, there's a lot of work, but it's quite achievable, and I think we are up to the task, contrary to popular belief. So that would be my comment on that. There's a lot of work. I won't put it down, like I said, but it can be done.
So we saw, turn of the year, you started flexing your muscles. You read to all the clubs, we need you to be compliant. And this is where you started. You announced your arrival because people are wondering. So you've won So right now, what's the focus?
The focus is on almost everything to do that, those 6 points. The long term, of course, for us, even if it's 6 months, is ensuring that Congress goes on.
So just recap, what are those 6 points?
Well, there's a day-to-day running of the association for starters, and that means a lot of things. It means restructuring. It's making sure that the Congress happens. There's a lot of work, Howard, that we have to talk about when we talk about those 6 points. But there's, when we talk about it, we're not just talking about it from just we're talking about it mostly from a policy point of view. We're trying to, when we talk about it with the NC, we're trying to future-proof the football industry, right? We want to make sure that the right people get into the right positions, and that, from a secretariat point of view, that we have the right professionals in the industry. And it's not, we don't want, we want the right people standing there that you can trust to run the Football Association, and that cannot be bulldozed later. We want to put systems. So that's the thrust of this NC, really, in short, to make sure that it's future-proof and that we have systems that cannot one day be removed.
It's your premier football show, The Couch, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Konapo, Ipapo, Pazetium Prime, DSV channel 294, the place to be.